I did boxing, I did dance for a long time, but I did competitive boxing for like 6 years.
I don't know if it's just where I'm from,
I think it's different in LA.
I'm sure it's different
LA
everywhere.
is like super, like you'll see like 50-year-old dudes just like fucking throwing money on their table and like
yeah, no, that's
crazy.
not.
A lot of people go into relationships believing that they are either ready to be in something serious, or they're just dating for the sake of dating.
I guess
So like picture me being with someone that like has like
Full-grown beard.
yeah, like just like an adult man like features.
Living with so many girls, like I'm always like, you know, hoping to be a person to cry on, like shoulder to cry on and help them out. So I feel like whenever my friends are going through stuff, I hope to be there, like, because boys can be really crappy.
I think porn is cheating. Is it cheating for you to sleep with someone that is not a sex worker if you're in a relationship? Yes. Is it cheating if you sleep with someone who is a sex worker and pay them for it? Yes. Personally, I don't think church is like too much of a big deal because like I miss church sometimes. Sometimes I don't go, but that doesn't mean that I'm any less religious than like I was when I went to church. Because like I still pray and I still actively do things that make me less sinful.
If you try to apply yourself every single day and you show that you care about God, then I feel like that's what really matters.
People in general kind of use the word, you know, I'm religious, much more loosely than the way I look at it anyway.
Cynthia, do you want to defend yourself against the copycat girl?
Oh, and she steals her money. Forgot to mention.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans, along here with my co-host, Mohammed Molai. And first of all, thank you to all of our listeners. We've been getting a ton of growth and engagement over the last few weeks, so we got to thank all of you guys out there for that. Today, we got a couple special guests on the show. Why don't you guys go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience. We'll do a name, what you do, and your star sign, and we'll start with you.
I'm Cynthia, and I'm in school for business right now at UBC, and my star sign is Capricorn.
I'm Nevaeh. I'm also in school at UBC studying biology, and my star sign is Aquarius.
Hi, I'm Leila. I'm also a college student, and my star sign is Scorpio.
Capricorn, Aquarius, Scorpio. So we're going to be best friends. I don't know about you. You're going to cost me a lot of money in therapy.
What? I feel like I'm not the typical.
Scorpios, you guys have a reputation.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm so opposite.
You're not toxic.
I've always been told I'm so opposite of Scorpio.
Really? Scorpios are kind of fun though.
Yeah, but they're like mean. And
Yeah,
they're known for being very like
they're not mean,
cold.
they're just they know how to play the game, you know what I mean? They know how to play the game.
I guess. I don't know.
I have a water sign, I get it. You
Okay.
know?
I don't know much about it, like at all. But
I see.
I believe you.
Yeah. I used to be toxic back in my villain era, but now
Oh gosh.
I'm like a recovering fuckboy, so now I'm very shy and romantic. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. What about you guys? Are you toxic in relationships or
No.
no?
Sometimes I can be kind of a hypocrite, but not necessarily like toxic. I don't know.
What do you mean by a hypocrite?
Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, but then I go and do it. But it's like, I feel like I think differently than they do, so that's why I do it, if that makes sense.
Maybe. Well,
like
give me an example.
my intentions are different. So like going out and like partying or like going to clubs, and like I feel like my intentions are different than if they were to do it, if that makes sense.
So you're saying if they go out, they're trying to meet a girl. If you go out, you're just trying to dance with your friends. I see. And you don't like when they go out.
No, and I'm self-aware, and it's something I need to work on.
Interesting.
But I try hard to not be like that.
How do you guys feel about if you're dating somebody and they want to go out to the club?
Trust.
You trust them?
Of course.
Interesting.
Don't be in a relationship with someone you don't trust.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a big thing.
You're in a relationship, yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
About 4 months. But it was like on and off for like a year, just like college, you know, how it is. But yeah, 4 months. So
4 months. How's that going?
Good. I'm seeing him later at the bars tonight, so it'll be fun. He just turned 21 too, so it's great. We get to all go out together now with like my roommates, so it's cool.
How many relationships have you been in?
This is my second.
And the one before that, how long was that?
About a year, yeah.
And that was through college or in high school?
No, high school. So just like high school relationship.
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
really count
Nah.
high school relationships.
Yeah, so then no. First.
So then you've been single ever since, or did that relationship go through college?
Not really. No, just a little bit
So
in
it
the beginning.
ended after high school and then
Yeah, and then I was just
single.
hanging out with my friends and making good friends. So yeah.
Nice. Let's talk about your backgrounds, kind of your like upbringings, you know, where you're from and all that. You could
Okay.
start.
Yeah, so I'm from around LA, small cities around, and then I now go to school in Orange County. I grew up dancing and acting, so big in the entertainment business, always have been. I think I always will be. And yeah, it's pretty much all.
Siblings?
Yeah, younger brother. He also goes to college with me, which is super cool. So I get to like watch after him. He's a freshman.
Ah.
Yeah, it's nice for sure.
Is he happy about that?
Yeah, he loves it. I think that we're such a close family, so it's nice to have just to continue this into college because a lot of siblings aren't lucky enough to have that. So I feel very lucky to be able to like, and we're like brother sister fraternity and sororities too, which is like funny.
Does he try to date your friends?
No, he's so shy.
Oh, is
That'll
he?
never be a problem. No,
You're not gonna
he's the
help him?
sweetest. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too pushy,
Okay.
but it's something that he could do on his own. But he's so sweetie, so I'm not worried for him at all.
That's awesome. What about you?
I'm from Calgary in Canada. I guess I don't have a lot of life experience, so I just like do school. I have 2 half brothers. I'm not super close with them, and yeah, I have 2 dogs. They're my life. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did boxing. I did dance for a long time, but I did competitive boxing for like 6 years. So, yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
I also
Okay.
just grew up with a little brother, and I also don't do much. I just study and have fun with Nevaeh.
And go viral on Twitch.
No.
What do you mean have fun with Nevaeh?
We-
What do you guys do for fun?
Adventures.
Like
we go
what?
on adventures. We go out and with like our friends that drive recklessly, and we like go explore like abandoned places, stuff like that.
And that doesn't. Do your parents know that you're doing this?
No.
What would they say if they found out?
They would probably kill me.
Which part of it is like a big no-no, do you think?
Probably the reckless driving, because they always get mad at me when I speed.
And the sleep schedule.
Yeah.
My mom thought I was doing drugs because I was waking up at like 2 p.m. and she called me and she's like, what does this sound like, Nevaeh? Like you're staying up all night and you're waking up in the afternoon. And she was hinting that she thought I was on drugs
Yeah.
because of Cynthia. Bad influence.
No. We literally just go get food though. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hot pot. That's our go-to place.
Yeah.
When we hang out. 'Cause it's
Who
open.
drives whose life?
Mm.
Who follows who?
We're the same person.
Yeah.
We're actually the same person. We have the same interests.
Yeah, we
So-
just like want to go out, and she's like, yeah. And then we just go.
And then, yeah, like, we both like the same artists. We both, like, kind of grew up similar. So we're pretty much the same person. So we have the same interests and everything, which is really funny. So it's not like we're both down for whatever.
And you guys are both single, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Layla, do you see a big difference between, like, when you were their age in comparison to, like, how old you are now?
Oh my god, we're like so close in age still too, which is so funny. But I feel like college definitely shapes a person so much. And I think I've learned a lot about myself as well as what I would want in my life. I'm still so young, so I don't know like 100% where that's going to take me. But I think that I definitely learned a lot more and like became much more mature, like living on my own for sure. Yeah. So.
And so what made you decide which college you wanted to go and your major, so on and so forth?
So I didn't get into my first choice. My first choice was SCSU. And so I wasn't like sure exactly where I wanted to go, but I go to like a small private university and it's in such a nice area. And so I feel like, I don't know, I just like thought that it felt right. I like toured it and it was like the only school I toured. And I liked it and I honestly went into major in communications because I asked my dad, I was like, when I was applying for college, I was like, what does not require math? And he was like, communications. And I was like, great. So I like did my regular like GE like math credit, and I've not taken math since, and I will never take math again. I hate math. So yeah, steer clear from that for sure.
So now you're doing communications, which essentially could get you to do whatever you want.
It's super broad, and then I'm minoring in cultural and creative industries, so kind of just getting into the sense. I actually took a podcasting class last semester for my minor, which was so fun. I got to interview all my friends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Good. I mean, I love to talk, so I feel like it's fine. Like, it was easy. It's definitely harder being on like your guys' side of it, like thinking of stuff and like being quick on your feet. Like, I love to like yap, so it's like fine. I can like talk forever. So it's hard to sometimes like think of questions, but it was fun. It was a cool experience. My teacher was cool too. So
yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be able to talk. It's another thing to be able to speak of substance.
Yeah, totally.
Because if you're just saying things that don't really matter, nobody wants to listen to.
Right, one ear, out the other.
Yeah, pointless.
Totally.
But it is hard on our end more so because there's not much of like we're not supposed to be talking a lot.
Right. That was one of the notes that I was told to stop talking. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're supposed to be
I
forming
disagree
questions.
with you actually. The thing is like, okay, think of all the big podcasts. It's like the Joe Rogan podcast or like what's the one with the two chicks and they talk about sex all the time?
It's only one of them now. Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yeah,
like
but those are those two girls talking to each other.
But any podcast, you look at any podcast.
Joe Rogan doesn't talk much.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Every podcast that's successful, it's because the host is super entertaining. It's not because the guests are so good. It's because the host is always like a stand-up comedian who's like super funny, or they're like have a very good way with words, like they know how to talk.
Sure, but if you watch Joe Rogan, he doesn't do most of the talking the guests do. He just asks very sophisticated questions.
Nah, but he kind of talks a lot too.
Well,
he knows how to make it
podcast
funny.
is like 3 hours, but
he knows how to make it funny.
You're talking about like a 2-minute clip. It's not the same thing.
No, I've listened to the whole thing. He makes it funny for sure. Yeah.
Are you on a scholarship or how did you get into college?
Just applied. No, not under school. My brother actually got an academic one, which is good because we're going to the same school. So it was definitely made it better for him. My parents were like, "Oh, he got a scholarship. What'd you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to know?" But
you guys get compared a lot?
No, we're very different. I'm definitely more social, and he has always been more into his grades. Not that I haven't been, but like he excels in math, and I am more like in the English and like writing realm. So it's like we are different, but like I don't know. I did pretty good last semester. I got straight A's, so I was like, and he didn't. So I was like, who's the smart one now? And so it was fun. I got to be like the smart one. Not that I'm not, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but your major is also communication, so.
Yeah, but I don't take just all comm classes because it's all like GEs and stuff too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm taking a really hard one right now. I don't know. Some of it's hard, some of it's not. But it's like it can't be too hard because it is communications. But sure. A lot of terms and they're all blended together.
At my college, it was business and communication majors. They would just be partying all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do y'all go to class? It would be like one of them was my friend. I text him in the morning and he texts me back at like 2 p.m. Hey bro, just waking up. I'd be like, do y'all go to school or do y'all just party the whole time?
I mean, I go to a small a small university, so they take like roll. So we can only miss a certain amount of classes before it deducts a grade. Yeah. So my school, not so much, but I definitely see some of my friends like at other big universities, and I'm like, wow, that must be nice. But then also, I don't think I could do it. It's kind of draining. So
yeah,
it's a lot.
Honestly, though, I feel like you almost learn more partying than like being in a class and like the key to communication is eye contact. And you're like, thanks, bro. Like,
yeah.
It's like you learn more by actually getting out there.
Totally.
And talking to people, whether it's at a party or whether it's at some networking event or whatever.
Yeah, but that's like my major. Like a lot of people aren't majoring in that stuff too. So it's like for them, math might be better for them, not so much for me. But I've always been good at talking to people. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think so. I think that it doesn't matter if I'm in class or like wherever I am. It's still an easier thing for me. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, well, you seem very naturally extroverted. Seems like your brother's naturally introverted.
Yeah, he's really come out of his shell since getting into a fraternity, so that's super cool. I'm really proud of him, but yeah. So he's definitely catching up to me. I don't know. He won't get to where I am, but love him. Shout out Dylan.
You guys are very competitive, huh?
Sometimes.
Or maybe you're competitive and he's just like, why is she doing this?
Maybe, I have no idea, honestly.
Were your parents concerned you just flew to the U.S.? Is this your first time?
To the U.S.?
Yeah.
No. Last time I was here was like my 12th birthday.
Well, that doesn't count. I mean, this
yeah,
time you guys just like
but,
flew
like,
here alone.
Yeah. Not really. It's not like it wasn't that big of a concern, especially because I just graduated high school last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were going to let me go to Rolling Loud in Miami with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Your parents are like not really giving a fuck.
No, they do. It's just, I just build trust with them and they know that I'm responsible. So.
Bro, the Gen Z travels all the time. This is very normal. Festivals, flying all over the place. Yeah.
Well, it's just about communicating with my parents. Like, as long as I'm like calling and texting them and they know like what I'm up to.
Mm-hmm. No, you're safe.
Yeah.
I guess also culturally is a little bit different because you're white fully. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
What are you?
I'm like also native and like a little bit like Caribbean.
Oh, okay. But when you say little bit, what are
Just
your
a little
parents?
bit. But my mom's like half native.
Okay.
So I have like a lot of native influence in my life, I guess. Like my whole mom's side of the family is all native, the ones that I see
Mm-hmm.
a lot. But then my dad is pretty, like, he's very traditional
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of sense. Just because of the way he grew up, like he has a lot of siblings, and
Because I feel like if you were in a Middle Eastern family, there would be no way in hell that would let you travel by yourself and just like be like, hey, I'm going to the U.S. and I'm like 18 years old. Like that's just like never would fly.
well, it's like not always, but sometimes I play the card that, well, what were you doing when you were 18? And then my dad's like, oh, okay, well. And then my mom, the same thing. My parents were a little wild when they were younger, so they're like, as long as you just don't do what we did. And the reason they were wild was because like my grandparents didn't let them do anything. So like, kind of the thing where someone tells you no, you want to do it more. So as long
Just
as
like fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
How bad can it get?
Well, I've never done anything like pretty bad, so my parents trust me quite a bit.
Aside from speed racing with a bunch of kids who probably don't know how to drive yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
The one thing, Cynthia. The one
I had
thing.
it on silent. I
At
swear.
what point?
That's a Find My
Yeah.
iPhone notification. You can't
Oh, it's
silence.
like, who's trying
Yeah,
to
you
fi-
can't silence it.
Who's trying to find your Apple?
Probably my parents, actually.
Manifested that into existence.
That's crazy.
It's your fault for talking about their parents manifesting into the universe.
Yeah, I'm
you
just
know?
literally like, parents.
So just text them back.
They're trying to figure out where the hell you're at.
Well, they just said it
Who
went
the
straight
house
to.
is this?
No, because my mom called me and it went straight to voicemail. Because I'm on D&D.
Ah. So she's like trying to find your iPhone so you pick up the phone and be like, oh.
Yes, she thinks we died or something. Definitely.
When was the last time? Yeah, when was the last time you talked to her?
My mom,
Uh-huh.
like this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't tell her what you were gonna do?
No.
No wonder she's okay. Cynthia,
Did we?
you seem like you've got a lot of stories that are like very toxic.
No, I'm not toxic. I don't have any stories. What?
Is that true? She's laughing.
I can't say anything. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Tell us something. Tell us something that you have done that the world can know.
I've never done anything. I try my best to be a good and healthy person.
You're fully Asian, yeah?
Yeah.
What are you?
Chinese.
Okay. And your family were migrated? Are you first generation or second?
Second.
Why are you thinking?
I don't know what that means actually.
Did your parents migrate to Canada?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. So then you're first generation.
First generation?
Yeah. Because if they were born in Canada, then you would be a second generation.
Yeah, first generation.
When did they move to Canada?
They moved here in 2000.
Oh, okay. Okay, so fairly recently and right before, so like 7 years after that you were born.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you had a little brother? And what's you guys' relationship history?
Like, how long you've been friends, kind of thing?
No. Like, have you guys? How long have you guys dated anyone seriously?
No. Again, like you said, like high school relationships don't really.
Yeah.
Like.
But I do feel like you're all three of you are fairly attractive. I mean, aside from her, because now you're in a relationship. But like even.
Oh, so now I'm okay.
What?
Thank you. You're like, so everyone's attractive, but you're in a relationship, so you're really ugly. Like.
No.
Like, okay,
That's not what I was saying.
Okay.
I was saying that most of the time when you're, if you're attractive, you're getting hit on fairly often.
Yeah.
But I was saying that, but now you're in a relationship, so technically speaking, you were getting hit on.
Not
And
really.
then-
I'm telling
Really?
you right now, the people at the guys at the bar just don't. Nah, they're too scared.
Scared?
Oh, they don't go up to girls.
Oh.
No.
Why is that?
like at all, like in general.
Oh, they don't go. You'll get the weird, really old guys that are like way too old to be there, and you're like, do you go home to your wife and kids, kind of thing.
What's way too old?
Like, I mean, if you're clubbing when you're like, or not clubbing, but at the bars and like when you're like 40s and like 50s, I feel like that's. I mean, it's my parents' age. Like, I feel like that's. I could never see my parents doing that, but I mean, like, to each their own. But I feel like it's just like I don't want a 50-year-old guy hitting on me at like being 21. That's like uncomfortable. So I feel like there's the only guys that will come and like hit on girls, like especially because my roommates, I live with like a bunch of girls in like a sorority house, and like you'll only find the weird ones that will like come up to you and like introduce
me ask you
themselves.
Your parents are together, obviously, and they're in their 40s,
50s.
50s.
Yeah.
Okay. God forbid they get a divorce. Something happens.
Okay.
What does your dad have to do at that point to find women?
I don't know. I don't think about that. I mean, like, I don't.
Go to
Not
the
go to
sorority.
the bars. Definitely not go to the bars.
Well, he has to find women somewhere.
Work stuff. I feel like that's how a lot of people find relationships, is through work.
You mean with their colleagues?
Or like friend of a friend, yeah. I could never picture any of, like, my mom and dad have friends that are like gotten divorced, and you will not see them out at the clubs or the bars. That's like, I don't know if it's just where I'm from,
I
but
think it's different in LA.
I'm sure it's different
LA
everywhere.
is like super, like you'll see like 50-year-old dudes just like fucking throwing money on their table and like
Yeah, no,
going
that's
crazy.
not. Yeah, I can never picture any of my parents' friends doing that ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's like absurd. But I guess it's just because of where I like grew up. I don't know, because like small town vibes.
What's the oldest you would date?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that because like I'm in college, so college kids right now. I couldn't pick. I like, what else do you have in common? It's kind of like, I know that like some of my friends have been in older like relationships, and it's more so like, what do you have in common with like someone that's like 28 and you're 20? Like, what is there to like, what do you guys have in common? Like, you're in college, they're out, like have a big boy job. I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot to talk about in that sense. So I would say
even
anyone.
28, because 28's like.
I mean, at this being young, like being in your 20s, I don't think anything more than like 3 years.
You have friends that are dating older, and then you've had this conversation with them?
Well, I don't know. I've just like, not anyone in specific that I can think of, but I've heard friends of friends and stuff. And I just feel like, I don't know. I personally am like, I still want to be young. I don't want to have to think about, all that. So I try and keep it to, my boyfriend's 21, so keep it to like my age range for sure.
So nothing too serious, just kind of like what it is in college, and like not make it like this is going to be the person for the rest of my life.
Oh, well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like I don't want anyone that's like super old is like what I was saying about that. But I don't know.
But if you do, I'm just asking, like, is that your mentality that like, hey, like I don't want anything serious in a sense that like I'm going to marry this person?
No, I
or
mean, yeah.
if that happens,
if that happens,
then
totally,
that's fine.
that's great. Yeah. I mean, I don't ever go into like a relationship thinking, okay, so when we break up, no one, I hope people don't do that. Like being, okay, so when we break up and blah, 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 like, I don't know. I don't think like that personally.
Yeah, no, I don't think most people think that way either. I just think a lot of people go into relationships believing that they are either ready to be in something serious, or they're just dating for the sake of dating.
I mean, I didn't date my first 2 years of college because I don't like stupid, pointless dating. That's not my thing. So I'm happy. So we'll see.
Nice. What's the oldest you would date?
So my parents have like a 6-year age gap, and they met when my mom was 19. So my dad was 25. So I think like, for me, I think it's a little weird for them to be older than like 22, like max. And then maybe like as I mature a little bit more, like older, but
That's a good age range.
that's like very max. And I find it a little weird. Like I couldn't imagine like me dating a 24-year-old and like have that gap that my parents had. Because
That's interesting. You guys have very small ranges. Well, maybe because LA is different, I guess.
Maybe.
Because I feel like most girls in LA are like, oh, if they're like your guys' age, maybe up to like 30 or like 35.
I could
or something.
No,
Never.
my mom has
Really?
like 30-year-old friends. I couldn't like, no.
I think
feel
it's
like that's
maturity
weird.
dependent. I think
Yeah.
the more mature the person is, the more they're inclined to surround themselves with people who are of an older age range.
Well, I've always been around like people that are older than me. Like mostly like a lot of my friends are like 2 years older than me. But even then, like, I don't know, it just feels weird. Like I hang around so many people like kind of like my age, like the kids that I'm just like surrounded with have no facial hair, for example. Like they're still growing into their facial hair. And it's like, it's just like weird.
I guess
To like picture me being with someone that like has like,
Full grown people.
yeah, like just like an adult man like features. It's just like, because I'm surrounded by like kids with baby faces still, because they're still young. So I don't know.
What about you, Cynthia?
I actually haven't thought about it. Like, I usually don't really think about guys or relationships unless it comes to me. So I wouldn't
Does it
know.
come to you?
No,
I mean, by
not
definition,
really.
what you said makes it seem like it doesn't.
No. No, there's no men, like, I don't know. I usually stick to around my age range too. Because, like, I don't really talk to, like, older men. We don't have much exposure to older men because we're just at university all the time.
You gotta go to the OC. Go to the bars with her.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
I did want to ask you about that though, because I was
Okay.
curious. So I read it was like a meme or something, and it had like these stats, and it said Gen Z like is having the least amount of sex of like any generation so far, which surprised me because I'm like, you guys are the most open-minded probably generation, and you have the internet, and like there's less of a stigma and like all this kind of thing. Do you feel like that's true? Because you said like guys don't really go up to girls and like.
I mean, if
talk to
that's what the stats say, I don't do numbers, so
Yeah,
you're asking the wrong person.
yeah,
I don't do numbers, but I mean, yeah, a lot of guys don't go up to women at the bars that I've seen, or it's just like weird.
And
older
do you
stuff.
feel like they just don't really give a fuck, or do you feel like it's more so, like they want to, but like they're just kind of like nervous and don't have the confidence to like go talk to somebody?
I don't know. I like most of my friends are beautiful people, so I feel like it's very. I mean, who wouldn't be intimidated? So it's like I think a lot of men are just think that like, oh, they wouldn't be interested and like have insecurities maybe. I don't know. I wish I knew. Like I could help my friends out.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to help, man. Maybe
You're
I'll
trying
like
to wing
wing women
women,
some.
wing
Yeah,
women,
maybe
yeah.
I'll wing women some people tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, no, it's just because like, yeah, like I know that feeling of like, okay, someone's like really beautiful, you're like scared of, like I remember when I was like first in college, but then you're kind of be like, all right, let's fucking go, like man up, you know, and you just fucking do it. But like it's like, and like I feel like most guys that I knew back then were like that. Like, yeah, you feel nervous and then you just fucking do it.
I mean, I don't really go out at all that much. Like
Okay.
I just go to like my boyfriend's fraternity or like our friends. So I mean, I know everyone, so it's like I'll see some of my guy friends and they'll be going up to like these girls that we don't know, and I'll be like watching. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
afterwards, like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, okay, let me help you out. And that's like, I think the most when I'll see men go up to like women, like my friends, and like, I've only been to the bars a couple times. Like I just turned 21, so like, I don't have much
you never
experience.
had a fake or anything like that.
Like, I mean, I didn't use it. No,
Gotcha.
I didn't really go out, so no, not really.
What do you consider cheating?
Anything that your partner would not be okay with.
What are you not okay with?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Next.
You don't want to talk about cheating?
No, it's uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. It's
Oh.
like weird. I don't like. My friends have had horror stories. I don't know anything about that. I'm not the person to touch on that. In my opinion,
Are you able to talk about their horror stories?
their horror stories. Oh God. I mean, it's just like men can suck, and they've been terrible to my friends. I don't know. There's nothing crazy that like pops out into my head, but living with so many girls, like I'm always like hoping to be a person to cry on, like shoulder to cry on, and help them out. So I feel like whenever my friends are going through stuff, I hope to be there, like, because boys can be really crappy, especially college boys.
I feel like the subject was very triggering for you.
No, I just don't want to talk a lot about that. So
Interesting.
yeah.
What do you consider cheating?
Like hiding things. I feel like if you like hiding text messages with a person, like even if it's like it could be innocent, but you're still like going out of your way to like hide something, that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's cheating to like hang out with like the opposite like sex or anything like that. But obviously being like intimate with another person, and then mostly just hiding stuff and lying about it.
So the line starts from them just having text messages where they're flirting with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Then
And
at
then-
that point they've cheated.
I think so, yeah. I think it's like it's just a show of like disrespect.
Sure.
Like liking other girls' photos is like whatever. I doom scroll and like everything. So honestly not really paying attention to it, which some people probably don't. But openly, like obviously flirting with someone, even like over text, in person, whatever it is, it's a little.
Would you forgive somebody who cheats on you?
I don't think so. No. It honestly kind of depends on the severity of it, but I don't think so.
One and done.
Yeah.
What about you, Cynthia? Do you agree with that definition of cheating?
Yeah, I agree actually, but I just remember like I did crash out with my ex, like if he liked other girls like bikini photos and stuff.
That's
I would get
valid.
so mad.
That's valid.
Like it's not because like you're mad that he's looking at other girls. It's like embarrassing for you,
It's a bad look.
Yeah, because other girls can see like, oh, your boyfriend liked this, and especially if I post him on my social media, all of my followers, if they follow him, they can see like, oh, like this girl's boyfriend is liking all of these girls' posts. So it'd just be
another
like,
thing, porn. I think porn is cheating.
yeah,
I think it's cheating. So, like, thinking about it, is it cheating for you to sleep with someone that is not a sex worker if you're in a relationship? Yes. Is it cheating if you sleep with someone who is a sex worker and pay them for it? Yes. Is it cheating to receive nudes from someone or ask someone for, like, nude photos that you don't know that is not a sex worker, like, not a porn star? Yeah, it's cheating if it's some, like, random on, like, Instagram or Snapchat or text. But why does it make it okay that it's their job? Because it doesn't make it okay if it's a sex worker to sleep with them, but it makes it okay to get nudes from someone because it's their job.
it's worse that he's like paying them too. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying like OnlyFans?
OnlyFans and like porn.
Just
Like
normal
just
porn.
because it's their job doesn't make it okay, because just because it's a sex worker's job doesn't make it okay.
You're saying if your boyfriend was watching porn while you're in a relationship, that then they're cheating at that point.
I think it is. And it's like you have an imagination, like just use it. It can't be that hard.
Well, then
Like,
wouldn't
come on
you
now.
be using the imagination also cheating? Because you're thinking about other people?
Well, not
Or are you like,
necessarily,
he has to
because
think
it's not
about you?
like physical, like it's not like you're watching it with your eyes and actively searching to see intimate like photos and videos of people kind of thing. I just think it's gross. And I think porn in itself is gross. Why do you want to watch another person like that? I don't know.
Want to hear a crazy story?
oh no.
One of my friends was dating this guy, and she went on this trip to like some cabin or something, like with the family. So it's like the parents and then the guy and then like his sister, right? and they're packing up to like leave, and they start the car because it's like cold out, so they're like warming up the car or whatever. And then all of a sudden through the speakers they hear like sex noises, like oh. And they're like, what the? And they're like, the dad's trying to figure out why they like change the radio station, and like finally they just turn it off. And then they're like, oh, where's like whatever his name was? And they're like, oh, he's in the shower right now. And his Bluetooth was connected to the car because he had music going on the way up. And it was still connected. And she said they just rode home and like the parents were just like in silence. And she said the guy was like, what's going on? Like, why are you guys so quiet right now? And she's just, it was the most awkward like trip
That's
back
horrifying.
ever. I know.
That
it's
is
pretty,
horrifying.
But it's pretty funny.
I've seen that in a movie before called The Package. That kind of thing was in a movie. Yeah, it was like these people he like outside of his friend's house, like on his phone, like what's it called when you
like AirPlay or whatever.
Yeah.
Bluetooth, yeah.
Put it on the TV, and it was like just like porn on the TV in front of like his friend's little brother and his parents. It was really funny. But that's what that reminds me of.
Is that a question you're gonna ask somebody when you start dating them, whether or not they watch porn?
No.
Do you think a lot of people do watch porn?
No, yeah, definitely a lot of people do. I think like to me it's not a complete deal breaker. It's just something that I feel like I need to express to them, like that it makes me a bit uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
But I mean, the way you worded, you said it's cheating. Therefore, wouldn't that have to be the first thing you say to someone?
Well,
because it is. I feel like everything else is expected, right? Like most people agree on the definition of cheating, which is don't have an inappropriate conversation or physical relationship with somebody who's not you, right? But I don't think most people agree on don't watch porn. And most people certainly don't think that watching porn is cheating.
Yeah,
so
I
I
know
think
that.
if you don't bring that up from the very beginning, the person you're with could potentially have been cheating on you for the duration of your relationship multiple times.
Yeah, but it's like, I guess when you start having like more of a connection with the person, that's when you start talking about boundaries. It's not like a right off the bat kind of thing. Like you don't just like throw that at someone. It's like the first week you kind of introduce yourself to them. So I think that's something I talk about when I know the person a bit more and like I'm actually interested in them.
Have you said that to someone? What was the response?
Well, person I said it to, he was like pretty religious, so it wasn't like,
sure,
maybe he lied, I don't know, but that it wasn't like a problem kind of thing. So
are you religious? Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes
I only date a religious person.
So Christians. Got it. And if they're not religious, so how religious do they have to be? Like, do they have to go to church, or is it just like as long as they believe, that's all that matters?
I don't know. I don't think church really has much to do with your faith. Like, go, obviously, like it's great, but if you have no relationship with like your higher power, I guess, then it's kind of pointless, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like your relationship with your higher power is more important than attending church or anything. So that's not like, I don't know. I just want to be able to like talk to someone about it, and share experiences about religion and stuff.
I have a hard time justifying that a person calls themselves religious if they don't actively practice the things that religion stands for.
Yeah, no, like practicing it, like I think they should definitely practice it, because that's how you build a relationship with your, like, what you believe in, like God.
Yeah, but Christianity doesn't have much of a requirement aside from going to church. Like if you look at, for example, Islam, a person who is Muslim, they have all these like requirements in order for them to be practicing their religion. You know, they have to pray 5 times a day. They have to, you know, if they're women, they have to wear the hijab when they're outside, you know, so on and so forth. You can't masturbate. You can't do this. Like there's like all these rules and regulations. In Christianity, there isn't much. It's basically just like go to church and like pray and own up to your sins or whatever, and that's basically it. So I feel like even if you're not doing that, then what's there left? It's just
like kind of following those kinds of things. Like because personally, I don't think church is like too much of a big deal, because like I miss church sometimes. Sometimes I don't go, but that doesn't mean that I'm any less religious than like I was when I went to church.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I still pray and I still actively do things that make me less sinful, if that makes sense, like grows me closer to what I believe in. And I think it's just more important to like have that bond in a way with religion for me, and following, I guess, the like 10 commandments and whatever. And it's kind of hard. It's hard for me to explain it a little bit.
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But the problem is most people are like that. Most people are just like pick and choosing what they want, and then they call themselves religious. Like
I don't agree with that at all. I don't think
that's really what it is. Like what you just described is just that.
Well, like the only thing is church. Like that's the only thing for me, because church is kind of like a group of people learning and talking about God, which you can also do by yourself by like reading the Bible.
Sure. So
I feel like it's obviously like a good thing for people to do that, but it's not something that's necessarily necessary, because you can do it on your own, like practice your faith on your own, pray on your own, sing hymns, I guess, on your own kind of thing.
Yeah, but being a good human being is not rocket science.
No.
Right? Like it's just like 10 commandments. Like just don't kill someone. Like that's not like fucking the craziest thing that somebody is like incapable of doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like don't lie. Well, most people lie. And so most of those things are not really, it's just like be a decent human being, and that goes across the board with any religion. It's not just Christianity. Every single one of those religions that you look at, they all have the same sort of setup as to how you could begin to be a decent person. What really differs as you look at these religions is the sort of nuances of how you are a religious person, and what makes you religious at that point is whether or not you're doing those things that are beyond the simple task of being a simple human being. Does that make sense? So I just think people in general kind of use the word, I'm religious, much more loosely than the way I look at it anyway. But it does make sense that most of the people that you're, planning on dating or being with, you want to have the same values with, and if they are religious, then obviously chances are not, hopefully not.
Well, even porn. Like they don't necessarily have to be like Christian. I feel like agnostic as well, as long as they kind of believe in something, and that like I can have a conversation with them and not have like an argument kind of thing, like someone who's just mostly open-minded. But I would much prefer to be in a relationship with someone who is Christian.
Do you have the same outlook on the religious / porn situation?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like religion is also like definitely about following the values that your religion entails. Like if you try to apply yourself every single day and you show that you care about God, then I feel like that's what really matters. Like it's that you genuinely care about your relationship with God and you respect it.
Makes sense. Leila, are you religious at all?
No, I wish I could be more though. I definitely.
You do wish it? Why do you wish it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that I didn't grow up super religious, so I don't have that background. But I definitely wouldn't be opposed to learning more about it. I just don't know much. So. I love hearing you guys talk about it, though. I'm like taking notes and like listening and hearing it all. So
You didn't grow up in a religious family, you're saying?
no. I grew up believing like in God, but I didn't grow up like going to like church or anything like super religious. So my dad did, but it just wasn't, I guess, carried on to us. But
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
we're taught some things. So.
That makes sense. You did dance in high school?
I danced forever. I quit like senior year.
Why'd you quit?
Well, I quit. So I started dancing when I was 2, competing when I was 5. So it was like my life for so long. And then sophomore year was COVID for me. So everything was online, obviously. And it was like just so weird doing dance rehearsal online. And there was like no light at the end of the tunnel at that point, like in 2020.
It was like Zoom. And
Yeah, it's
they're
like Zoom. And I'm like,
"Do
what's,
this," and
yeah, it's
you're,
like, what's
in
the
your bedroom.
point? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I was like in my bedroom.
Yeah.
That was such a weird time. So I quit after that technically because I didn't continue doing dance team after that, but I would take classes and dabble in it junior and senior year, and then I am in my junior year of high school or of college now, and I take classes occasionally. I wish I could take more, but I just don't have the time, and a lot of my friends don't dance like as much, so I don't like really feel like going alone. It's kind of scary. When you like go to a studio you don't really know anything about or like anyone there, it's like kind of terrifying, so I don't like to go alone a lot. I go when I can.
What do you think about social media and its effects on your brain?
My gosh, I feel like I'm in my communication class. I've been asked this so many times. I think there's so many good beneficial things with social media, and then there's so many cons, and I think that it brings so much and also takes away so much. So it's like definitely a give and take, push and pull for me, for sure.
It's interesting because talking to you guys, it's really hard to have a conversation where it's obvious you lack experience, you know.
In life.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, and it's obvious you lack wisdom,
Thank
which
you.
is very interesting. Because I think, especially kids your age, want to believe that, or maybe they do believe that they know everything and they want to do everything by themselves.
I definitely thought I knew everything at like 17, 18. And then
Right.
I like rely on my parents so much now, and I'm so
Right.
lucky to have them and like a good support system. But I definitely think that I've become more independent and like learned more, but I definitely don't know nearly as much as I will eventually. So
So I think when you guys talk about the age gap and like how difficult it is for you to see yourself with somebody who's older, I could see that, because there's not much of compatibility in the things that you've experienced or even could talk about or even say. But it's interesting because I think that society gives you choices to make that perhaps you shouldn't be allowed to make.
such as,
Drinking is one of them.
okay.
You know, even like 21 is the age for drinking here. You know, what is it in Canada?
18, 19.
18. See, I think like that's crazy.
Well, I think it's crazy that you can't drink when you're in the military until you're 21.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think that's weird.
That is fucked up.
Like,
They
you
can
can't.
force you to fight a war, but you can't have some tequila.
Yeah, so see, that's what I'm saying. Like you're allowed to vote when you're 18. You're allowed to drive when you're 18. But I think
16.
16 in America,
Yeah.
and so, and I think a lot of these choices require a person who's capable of making a simple decision, which is, what am I going to do with my life?
That's a simple decision.
I think it should.
What am I going to do with my life is a simple decision.
I think it's a simple
Oh,
decision
yikes.
in a sense that if you are able to do all these things, it should be as simple as that. But it's not, because most people don't know what they're going to do up until even, I mean, I know people who have left college and still don't know what they want to do. Do you guys ever meet people your age that you think, wow, like they're so much more mature than me and just like I have nothing in common with this person?
I think if we're
like, do you ever experience that, or is that?
I mean, if we're going to school together, then we have something in common, and there's like little things. But I think that everyone goes through their own life experience, and I had a very healthy and like loving upbringing, so I don't have any like crazy trauma to talk about. But I know a lot of my friends have had a more difficult time growing up, and I've been through harder things, and like I think it definitely shapes a person in a different way, and it makes them different and like act differently and have to grow up faster than others.
Yeah.
So
I think that's one of the biggest things is having the ability to experience life without people protecting you from it. And most of the time, your parents do become that person. They become the person who protects you from all these trauma that you otherwise would experience that would make you grow quicker. And if you don't have the ability to grow as quick as possible, you're just prolonging your ability to become more mature and have more wisdom.
I think there's like pros and cons to like all of that. So like if it's, I don't know, I feel like I got to enjoy my childhood probably more than others, which is great. So I feel like in that sense, like in that maturity sense, like if that's what you're saying, I don't know if I like was clocking that right, or I could be so wrong. But was that what like you were saying, like growing up, or?
Yeah, well, I think living your life to the fullest, where you experience your childhood the best way as possible and you have no trauma, that's like I don't think you should, I don't think anybody should be like thrown to the street when they're like 5 years old and then just be like, oh, like, fend for yourself, and like that's, it is what it is, like we'll see what happens. That's not what I think at all. I just think there are ways to create an environment for people in high school, even middle school. Because I went, and I think one of the things that really made me grow was, like, I never forget my middle school. It was one of the greatest times of my life. And also, I mean, our school system is very different than the U.S. U.S. school system is garbage. But in comparison, when I came here for college, I was like, I've done all of these things in high school. Like, I don't, like, what are you guys talking about? And in my middle school especially, that's like when I started doing like different crafts and different learning different skill sets, being an electrician, plumber, and like, just like doing like anything that you could possibly think of. And those were activities that like we had to do in middle school.
Like you were taught in classes?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
we had classes that were specific to these different career paths, and like you had to like learn them. And that's just simply for you to know how to live life, Yeah,
we don't have that.
Yeah.
So I get
So like now, like when I
that's
came
not
to
my
America,
fault though. So.
no, and it's crazy because like now I've got friends who don't know how to change, how to put things on the wall. For example.
Oh, I did know how to do that.
Because it's more
okay.
Okay.
Like my friends have no tools, and like the fact that like they like one time I was asking to like fix something, and I was like, hey, where are the tools? And they were like, oh, we don't have any.
That's
like,
crazy.
You don't have tools. Like what do you mean you don't have tools?
This tool. Beep beep beep. Hello, can you fix the sink? Thanks. Beep. Problem solved in 2 seconds. What am I gonna go? Oh, YouTube, how to fix the sink. Oh, you twist. What's an Allen wrench? ChatGPT, what's an Allen? That's what nerds do.
No, I understand.
Just
that
call
is,
somebody, they fix it.
But
Game
that's
over.
what I'm saying.
It's the only tool you need.
The issue is that you're trying to like YouTube it and ChatGPT it versus I learned this in middle school. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Versus you learned it in middle school. You're going to try to fix your sink and it's going to flood all over the place because you haven't done it in 30 years. Versus some dude who all he does every day, he fixes sinks. It's like people who like cook for themselves. I'm like, just hop in the BMW, go to Cash.
I can't cook.
Get a steak that's been prepared by a dude who's been making steaks his entire life. All he does every day, he wakes up, he makes steaks.
Leila, I had such high hopes for you.
Can't cook.
And I lost all respect
I'm
at this
so
very
sorry.
moment when you say
my parents didn't grow up cooking either. It's something that wasn't passed down to me. And so it's like I would love to learn.
Like, oh,
You're 21 years old.
I would love to learn.
Take
My
a
parents,
cooking class.
I know. I talked to my dad about this actually really recently, and he was like, I think I should, because all my roommates cook. So like I'm like, hey guys, like, what'd you have for dinner? And I'm like, oh, I'm door dashing again. But I told my dad, I was like, I want to like learn how to cook. He's like, that's a great thing. You know what? You should do that. We should get you in cooking classes. I'm like, let's get me in cooking classes. So like my friends don't make fun of me anymore. So I honestly have been thinking about it. So this is like pushing me even more to do that. So
That is crazy to me.
I'm sorry.
It's all like following simple instructions written on a paper. It's called a
solved
recipe.
Cooking. We solved it. Like you know, we used to have to make fire by rubbing sticks together. Then we solved it. We just have like heat in our homes now. Like we used to have to cook in like tablespoon of this. Is this a teaspoon or a tablespoon? Now we just Uber Eats, or you just like go to a restaurant, like easy. Or you put the microwave and it's like 1 minute start. Like, it's like we already solved it. We don't need this skill set anymore.
Yeah, but some of us aren't rich enough to just go out and eat all the time, and we need to cook for ourselves.
And cooking's fun.
Yeah, it
Me
is
and
so fun.
Nevaeh
And
cook
baking.
together.
Like me and Cynthia, literally, when was it? Like 3 weeks ago, we made us some Mongolian meatballs and cream puffs. It was really good, and it was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Then you got to do the dishes, and it's like, fuck.
It's
what are you
fun,
gonna do other
though.
than doing the dishes? Scroll on social media?
No, get to work.
What other work?
Time to work. It's work time. Go to the gym. You know.
Yeah, but like, it's good skill set because you need dishes. Like you should know how to cook when you move out.
I just feel like there's like specialized labor, and that's the reason our economy is so good, because certain people get really good. Like I'm really good at playing piano because that's what I did my entire life. So like if you need a piano player, I'm really good at it. Like you could go learn piano on YouTube and like try to play piano for yourself, or you could just like hire somebody who knows how to play piano.
Well, so do you want your wife to just order you like Uber Eats?
Yeah,
every
I
night?
do not care. Guys are, I need a wife who can cook. I do not give a fuck if my wife can cook.
Oh.
I literally don't care.
That's how you like end up 600 pounds.
Especially if she's like, especially if she's like, oh, like let's cook together, and then I gotta go to the grocery store. Like, what aisle are the garlic cloves in? Excuse
Yeah,
me.
but sometimes
It's like it sucks.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not so readily available for you to just go and like DoorDash whatever
Yeah,
you
you
want.
just get one of those delivery ones. They give you like a bunch of boxes every month, and then you put them in the microwave, put in the freezer.
Yeah,
and
but
put 'em in
if
the
you want
microwave.
like a specific thing at like 2:00 in the morning and nothing's open, isn't it valuable to know how to cook it?
I don't know. I can't do that shit.
Well,
It's about like maximizing your quality of life. Like you enjoy your life more if you
That's why I don't cook.
if you cook with
I'm
your family.
maximizing by not having to do the shitty things that I hate doing.
You're talking to a guy whose standards are not that high when it comes to certain things. Like for example, if he got food delivered to him, right? What would you do? Would you eat it in the package that it came in, or would you put it in the actual plate that you have bought from the store that is?
No, you eat it in the package it came in.
Exactly.
Of course, yeah.
See, massive difference. Very
cares?
like
Who
simple
cares?
human being. Whereas like I would put it in the
Y'all
nice
are the type
plate
of people who like make
with
your
the-
bed, huh?
with
You
the
make
metal
your bed in the
fork.
morning and
You
just
don't
mess it
make
up
your
when you-
bed.
Of course not. Of course.
I never make my bed either.
It's a waste of
actually.
time. You get in the bed, you mess it up anyway.
Yeah.
Do you make your bed? See. Actually, they did a study.
I make it when I do my laundry.
Most
Every week, but that's
most CEOs, the smartest people, highest IQ people, they did a study. Don't make their bed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Oh my
hearing that.
goodness.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's based
That
on
is
science.
not true.
That is definitely true.
No.
It's interesting because you two are kind of different in that sense that she doesn't make her bed and then you make your bed.
Yeah.
Do you make her bed?
She's only ever been in my dorm room once.
Yeah,
Twice?
she always comes to my
Oh.
dorm.
Because your bed's made.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's fine.
Exactly.
No, it's because she's too lazy to walk like 10 minutes.
I always walk to see you, and then we go back to my
Shots
dorm
fired.
after.
Shots fired.
They're about to fight. Let's see. What
So-
other resentments have you gotten built up?
Against her?
Uh-huh.
We've only been friends for like a month and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
I thought
we
you guys
have
were
no
like best
resentment
friends for
towards each
20
other. At
years.
least I have no resentment towards her for anything. Actually,
Aside from walking from her
Maybe
dorm
one
room
thing,
to yours.
but-
What is it?
a specific person.
Who?
I can't say.
Don't say the name, but like who is this person in relation?
It's just like a person that is associated with us that I can't stand the fact that she's friends with them.
You don't want. Yeah, we have the same thing.
We do have the same thing. Yeah.
You know, the same
I can't, like, morally, I don't understand how you
totally
can be friends
understand
with
what you're
someone
saying.
like that.
100%.
I don't
100%.
understand. And she complains to me all the time. And I'm like, so why are you still friends with them? And she's like, I love them. I'm like, why? Why? Everything you just listed to me is reasons why I would never love this person.
I'm the same way.
It's like, the loyalty is sometimes too strong. You need to let go and like take a break. And she's like, oh, I'll take a break. And then the next day they're hanging out. And I'm like, this is a break to you? What, 2 hours? Yeah, she knows exactly who I'm talking about.
I just don't understand how people lose friendships over like little things. Like, it's like, I've known people who've known each other for like 5 years and then they get like mad because someone like left the dishes.
But this isn't little things. This is like, yeah, even she knows this is huge things.
Like what?
No, it's like, no.
I want to know what these things are too.
You could talk about the things.
Should I say?
Yeah. Just talk about
Should
the
I
things.
say?
Yeah.
So they met like not too like long before we met. This year as well, like university, in university. And it's a girl. It tries to be the copycat of Cynthia. Every little thing, down to like the faces she makes, the way she talks, like trying to learn how to like speak, what is it, Mandarin? Do you speak Mandarin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
Well,
what
I
it
feel
is?
like that part's not deep.
But like that dressing the same, like changing her entire personality, her entire wardrobe, getting fake belly button piercings just because Cynthia has belly button piercings, getting contacts because Cynthia wears contacts.
Why is that a negative? Why is any of the things you said negative?
Because it's weird. It's like a fan. And she like begged
what's wrong
this.
with-
She begged this one girl to introduce her to Cynthia. So it was like, you're a fan before you're a friend. And
That's
it's
how
like,
Mo is to me. He's kind of a fan, you know. He's always trying to copy. He's like Plankton trying to steal my formula, you know.
But then, like when me and Cynthia met, they're like me, her, this other girl, and like a few of our other like mutual friends met like kind of all at the same time and hung out the same day all together. Right off the bat, this girl didn't like me. She hated me.
Of course,
and
that's
I did.
really
Of
what it
course,
is.
because you're the
Nothing.
best friend.
Yeah.
Well,
Or-
she's
You're
she's the
you're
best
new
friend. Like
friend
she's
coming in.
she's always hanging out with us all the time, and I never did anything to her. And she's like, Cynthia, be careful. Like, be careful of Nevaeh. And I'm like, what am I doing? I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing, and she just hates me. And then she makes Cynthia feel bad for being friends with me. And then she copies Cynthia. She compares Cynthia to other girls on like Instagram, and it's like, oh, this and that, and like you're so much more this than her she is, but she's so much more like just like, and she's such a Debbie Downer. Oh, it's really annoying. Every time you hang out with her, she's like talking crap about herself, and you have to like try to uplift her, which is like, yeah, you should uplift your friends, but it's every time. And she's not an ugly girl, like she's pretty, so it's frustrating. It's so frustrating, and you're like, you're pretty, and she's like, no, I'm so ugly, like you are so much more beautiful than I am. And it's like, what do you say to that? Like,
You say, yeah, I am. That's right. You goddamn right.
yeah, and then she start crying. Like,
Oh, no.
it's just it's very hectic, but
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
as somebody who has experience in that arena, all you can do is just let things play out the way they will.
But it's getting to a point now where I can't hang out, like I can't do some things with Cynthia because she's gonna be there because she's talking bad about me to everyone we know, and then they like people that don't even know me, that haven't met me, and then they meet me,
Sure.
and so they already have this like bad image of me because she talks so bad. I don't even know what she said. I don't even know what she has to say
Yeah.
about me, honestly, because I haven't done anything. But and it's just like tiring because it's like it puts a damper on our relationship, and then plus my relationship with other people. And she's doing that like to Cynthia too, like pinning people against me and like trying to pin her against me, and then pinning people against her for being friends with me. It's just it's like
Girls
it's
are
so
toxic.
childish.
Girls are toxic.
I know, and it's so childish, and it's so weird, and I just don't like. And I said this, like I've said this so many times. It's like the only person she wants at her wedding is Cynthia. She wants no other friends. She just wants Cynthia as her bridesmaid, and that's about it. And it's just I don't know, it's just weird.
Or as
The bride.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like she wants to marry Cynthia. It's so weird, and I can't wrap my head around it. And it's just I don't know. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it seems like like one of those like horror movies, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where the person
They're,
like,
obsessed with them.
Yeah.
The horror movie The Roommate.
is that what that is? Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this girl that gets obsessed with her roommate. That's what this girl is with Cynthia, and it's like, oh, I don't even know. I don't know
how girls make friends in general.
I don't know either.
So this was crazy. Have you guys heard of the second group chat theory?
Mm-hmm.
That's because I made it up. But
Oh.
No, I've heard. I like things about it, not like the specific not being
interesting.
called it. But
So
yeah.
I was dating this girl, and she told me when we were dating, she's like, Zach, you know, like every group of girlfriends has like a group chat. And I was like, yeah, of course. And she's like, Zach, what you don't know is there's always a second secret group chat of the core members of the first group chat that talk shit about the first group chat that aren't in the second group chat. You know what I'm talking about? Do you guys have a second group chat?
I was not a part of that group chat. I was on the other end of it.
So you got but you want to hear the crazier part.
Yes.
So we had like a really bad breakup. Like usually I have pretty good breakups, but this one was like really like nasty. And then at the same time, she had a falling out with like 3 of her friends. So I'm talking to one of her friends because like I kind of bonded with her over like not liking this girl, right? And I'm like, yo, just so you know, they got like a second secret group chat. They talk shit about you. And she starts laughing. But not like normal laugh, kind of like evil villain laugh, like maniacal laugh. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, what they don't know is there's a secret third group chat that talks shit about the second. It was like, I need like a flow chart to like figure out the levels of toxicity and like who doesn't like who and who pretends to like who, but they're talking shit behind their back because they're jealous. Like, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy for sure.
What was your group chat story?
Freshman year of college, I was in a friend group, and there were 6, 7 of us. I don't really remember, but I was never like there for a lot of it. But there was one time where I was like, okay, can we please go to the cafeteria? Like, I'm having the worst day. I was like crying. They're like, we just went, whatever. And as soon as I left, they all went without me and like text about it. And my now best friend and I were like not a part of that. And so now we're like this and bond over the fact that Mean Girls brought us together. And I think it's the biggest blessing. So I like thank God for that second group chat that I like got booted from that. So It's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. I think common enemy is honestly, as bad as it sounds, the best way to make friends. Like, I can't tell you how many, like...
I don't know if it's the best way, but it's a way.
I'd be in college sitting next to the same people for like 3 months. Don't say like more than 2 words, like, yo, what's up? How's it going? Then there'd be like the teacher would like do like this super unfair pop quiz where like, oh, you said this wasn't going to be on the test and now it's on the test. And boom, all of a sudden we'd be like close friends. We'd like start, yo, you want to grab lunch after? Like, all we needed is somebody to like try to fuck us over so we could like bond over our mutual preying on the downfall of our enemies. You know what I mean? I think it's like a primal thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
Interesting take.
Final question. Although it seems like you guys are not going to have much experience in this arena, but I'll ask it anyway. Does size matter?
I'm not answering that. I'm not experienced. That's not.
I figured.
Y'all take it away.
I figured it's just probably not really something you guys are going to have much experience talking about. But hey.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cynthia's like, I don't know anything.
I don't.
Cynthia, do you want to defend yourself against the copycat girl?
Oh, and she steals her money. Forgot to mention that.
Pause.
Forgot to mention that.
No. She's not a bad person. I really like her. Like, I really love her.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the things that? Do you agree with the description?
No, like, well, not really.
You don't
Like-
agree with the description. What's different? Do you think? Like, tell us your side of the story.
I feel like we just spend a lot of time together. Like, I don't know if she knows it's intentional, but like everyone takes inspiration from like the girls around them. If you have like a role model, I feel like
Sure.
I feel like,
Let's say that's not an issue.
well,
The
yeah,
copycat
like I just
thing.
feel
Let's
like
say that's okay. But the part where she's saying that she's talking shit behind her back and talking shit about her behind her back to you, and also stealing your money. Those are pretty three major red flags, I would say.
Well, I don't think she intentionally steals my money.
How is that possible?
Well, she just like doesn't have as much like money, so I just like pay for her and stuff. And with
So
like,
she doesn't take it intentionally.
She takes it, says, I'm going to pay you back, and then that
Wait, you
never
are
happens.
just like me. That's exactly what my friend does to me. Yeah.
Oh,
Bro.
and then she had like this promo thing, or like with this person who was going to pay her, and then she didn't have like her online banking set up, so they sent it to this girl, and then she just kept it and never gave it to Cynthia.
Is that true?
well, okay, no, she's a really
She's
sweet
going to
person.
watch this, so that's why she's being careful what
No.
she's saying. Wow.
No,
Cynthia,
like,
the answer to did she do that is not she's a very sweet person.
That is the answer.
No, I don't
Yeah,
really talk
that's
about
the
it.
answer.
That's not the
I don't want to
answer.
talk about it on here.
She is a sweet person. She just does some questionable things quite a lot of the time. But
Yeah.
it's just, I guess it's just like she needs to learn. Like she needs to, I feel like Cynthia's super nice and she won't express herself, that
Sure.
things make her uncomfortable. So I can see in a way that it's not really this girl's like
Seems
fault
like you're like more
sometimes.
passive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not
Wow.
very confrontational.
Yeah, so she doesn't know that she's doing something
Sure.
wrong because Cynthia doesn't express herself sometimes.
Right.
No, she doesn't know. So like, no, she's not doing anything wrong is what I'm saying. I don't know. But I really care about her. I really like her. She's like one of my best friends in the world. So, like, yeah.
I think the only way to fix a situation like this is to allow people to just find them their space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay like thousands of dollars of tuition and go to a school to like deal with this.
Yeah.
I don't pay for that, and she like makes it her life. It's so she's always there. It's just it's like a shadow that like I don't know how to describe it. Just I don't know.
Just
I mean, I don't think the copying thing is that bad of a thing. It's like, yeah, like, you know, you have someone who you look up to.
I do think
You
it
have a role
describes,
model?
but I think opening with that sort of described a personality trait that explains the other things that she's doing. Because her stabbing her in the back and sort of going behind her back and talking shit to other people, trying to make her look bad, is essentially the only reason to do that is because she's trying to get her out of the way in order for her to remain the only best friend that Cynthia has. And the reason why she's doing that is because of the whole copycat thing that she started to talk about. So it does explain a lot why she's doing it. I don't think she has a reason to, because there are people who have multiple best friends, and it's okay to have multiple best friends, and it's okay to have. Well,
But I'm like I've been trying to be friends with her,
right.
and like I put everything aside. I didn't bring it up to her. Like I brought it up to her like once. I was like, hey, if you have an issue, just talk to me about it before you talk about me behind my back. Like just come to me. And like I wasn't rude or anything. And she's like, yeah, I will. I love you so much. And then the next day, Nevaeh's a liar. Don't be friends with her. And I'm like, and then she'll text me and be like, I love you, Nevaeh. Like you're my best friend. Like you're so sweet.
Sure.
And then Cynthia's like, oh, she doesn't love you. And then she knows that Cynthia tells me everything she says to her and continues saying it to Cynthia, which is weird. Like,
Well, it's not weird. It's also a strategy.
yeah, but it doesn't like strategy for what? She's not accomplishing anything.
Yeah, well, she is.
Like, if anything, it makes us
She is
closer.
actually.
It makes us closer because we talk about it.
That's debatable.
It does make us closer. Like, we're here together. Where is she? She's not here. I'm here. So
Looks like you won. You
not
win,
one.
she
Not
loses.
one. We just all like. I've been trying to get all of us to be friends.
It's like, why are you doing this to me?
It's okay if she can put past the things that girl does. She can push past this.
Oh no, of course. I don't think she's gonna be.
But like I've been trying to get all of us to be friends, and it just doesn't work.
I think there's something to be said about somebody who's like this honest and just puts it out in the open, and it's got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? I think that's very admirable.
Yeah.
It's a good job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Just
And
so
please don't
excited
cry.
to go. I'm not gonna cry.
Okay, great.
I'm just so excited to go back.
Why?
Back to Canada?
Yeah, after she watches this.
Oh.
So excited for that.
Send it to her.
You're gonna like text her the link, and it's gonna be like the YouTube share where it like has the time code in it, so it snaps
Yeah,
to
she'll
the
try to
song.
sue me for defamation.
I'll clip this one part for you.
Please don't. No, don't. Cut it out, please.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show. You were great. You were fantastic. Cynthia, for very few words that you did utter, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.